is yet to see an immense amount of play to such a degree that people have really nailed it down. We have seen a lot of interesting strategies come out through multiple tournaments across the board. We have seen players implement new things that have made it, the gameplay very interesting. Something I'm hoping to see here is an Oryx in play. Thatcher to go first isn't really a surprise, especially with Warriors starting on the defense. I'd imagine Cade will follow along with that. Maybe a Maverick even on the attack. Depends really what F5 want to get rid of here. But so far, Bank has proven to be quite a cruel map if played incorrectly, and can definitely lead to one team punishing the other for mistakes made. But with Sledge going from F5, that is a very interesting follow-up band of Thatcher. So both the SAS attackers off the board.
Not something you see every day in Rainbow Six Siege, but with the soft breach capabilities coming to this map, I mean, I would imagine it's most likely targeted at the likes of open area cafeteria, and then archives cellars, because you want to get it upstairs, create that vert control, and take it as you want through. Valkyrie follows it up as well. I mean, Valkyrie, no real surprises there. Probably one of the most banned defensive operators in the game at the moment. And Cade, yeah, much the same.
Yeah, no real surprises there for the defensive bans. Obviously, Sledge, the one to go, is rather interesting, especially that due to the fact that Bank has a lot of both up and down vertical play, where Buck tends to come in and shine a lot more than Sledge does, especially for those top floor sort of takes, which we have seen Repel been playing a lot on the Warriors. But instead, she's going to be jumping on the zero this time. So no Buck just yet. But I mean, the lineup that we see coming out from F5 already, relatively straightforward. Hard breaches in tow. Most likely going to see the new implementation of the hard breach tools on the zero as well. Jackal being bought. Probably a necessity for F5 here due to the fact that Bank is quite a large map, 3 floors, quite a lot of surface area for them to clear through. So with the Jackal in play, it's going to make their job a little bit easier. But Warriors are setting themselves up for a good roam defense as well. Obviously, Mute, Wamai, Jaeger, Castle, Smoke. Could see a little bit of an SSG type of thing coming out, extending down, up and down across floors. But we're going to have to see how this strategy comes into play here, Panda.
CEO, an interesting start. I mean, a lot of teams you'll see will opt into the basement defense first, but the Warriors, they come in with a game plan. They know exactly what they want to be doing. They see that Castle as well. Honestly, I'm not surprised at all. We're going to see that set up towards, I would imagine, the windows over by Banana. But I mean, there's a pretty stock standard setup that has been established for this map and for this bomb site in particular. You want to, reinforce what we're seeing reinforced, deny any sort of hard breach, and lock down that long angle through the hallway. Repelled Strunk, spotted there, unfortunately, by the loan office. But so far, the Warriors definitely seem to be coming into the game plan.
Yeah, there we go. The castle barricades, banana window is going to be locked down there as well, allowing a little bit of play through to Trump office. But all the same, a good setup so far for the Warriors. F5 now making their way in. Their setup is going to be relatively good here. Obviously, the Habana in play, going to be able to, quickly look to clear out that top elevator position. Repel trying to get that default from outside and be able to clear that utility. F5 just setting themselves up really here, getting some CO control on the Repel and trying to do some work in towards the site.
But looking to clear out that utility in the castle barricades, pumps in a concussion, clears it out with the lifeline in the end. And now we've seen this position play some very, very strong angles. And there's one of them being able to control that front portion of this bomb site and cut off the rotate back to Sav. New Zealand Warriors could find themselves cut. I mean, the site being cut in half, that's a dangerous prospect.
Oh, unfortunate there, not getting that kill under the Jaeger to open things up. But here's going to be the next issue for F5 with no Thatcher in play and no Carly being bought. That mute jammer is going to be denying so much wall control here for F5. Diana Sabana's yet to go off, but the nade will be able to clear out that utility and now to open
there was
things
an ADS in the elevator. It didn't
quite
go
grab
deep enough.
Yeah, it wasn't deep enough. Unfortunate there. The nade just sneaking by the range of effectiveness there, so that now opened up, which is going to make Soy's job a little bit harder. But at the end of the day, a minute and a half wasted so far, so Warriors are looking pretty decent.
Gemini plus a drone heading straight up main lobby stairs, looking for that info. But yeah, look, Warriors not going to let that info go freely. Oh, cheeky little upside down main lobby skylight Repel there. Ironically, from Repel herself. Playing a bit of Spider-Man, looking for some info. This is Wildcard were the ones that do it in the OCN that made it famous.
Can't really blame them either. Some of the angles you can get on that rappel really good. So good to see F5 utilizing that angle. But now only 50 seconds left. They're going to start making their way through to Trump. They have the rappels set up for crossfires now. A little bit of damage dealt to Sav. Some rappel as well from 2 players outside the banana connector here. Starting to make their way into the office. 35 seconds left though. They're going to have to execute here.
Shots going out. What a ripper of a headshot there onto Diana. Sav getting away with murder. Trying to repel the player outside the window. Another one, unfortunately, going to go back her way. But on the repel with the LMGE, shuts down Chloe, follows up a quick kill onto Soy. They're charging on, taking control of the site. Chloe on the plant, but they don't know. Time for Pi is in the main lobby, rotating back. Repel, the Nitro Cell just missing her. Time for Pi runs on and finds the back fish noodle. Repel has also fallen. Quick kills going the way of the Warriors. And they are looking to clean it up and try and get the defuse, but it's Butt on that Repel. Still watching through connector play inside CEO. Can't find the kill either. Down to the pistol, time for Pi. It's going to be a jump out. Concussion in. It's enough to stop the defuse, but it's AJ Tiger to hit a crisp, clean headshot. And I mean, look, it's AJ. She hits those 9 times out of 10.
Defenders win.
Really well retaken there by the Warriors. I mean, the plant went down. The site take was good from F5. They got that bomb down. They had their crossfires, but Warriors still had some positional advantage, obviously with no presence over towards Square, no presence inside of stock office, no real presence at the white stairs side of things. Obviously, Repel was kind of at the elevator to cover that 90 hallway, but there wasn't enough coverage from F5 to protect, well, reliably protect the planter and the remainder of the post-plant positions, and Warriors were allowed to just sort of walk on up and clean up what was left. Obviously, Mute on the flank as well, really well done. 2 or even 3 kills there from Sav. So big things for Warriors and really well done. You do have to highlight both teams though. Really good execute, but the retake, unfortunately, for the attack was better.
Time for Pi. Absolutely clinical in that. Didn't quite land the Nitro Cell, but definitely landed the shots. That's exactly what you want in that situation. The Warriors back themselves. AJ bringing out the Oryx as well here, down for the basement bomb site. The 2 key players in that round looking to play some heavy roamers. I mean, you got Oryx and Vigil. Both of them are going to be looking to play offside.
Yeah, we did talk about Oryx before the games start. Obviously, he allows so much maneuverability between floors as well as running around just in general. Being a 2-speed, 2 armor, still has a decent amount of speed, but also obviously with the Rima dash and the ability to jump up between hatches, gives AJ a lot of maneuverability. I mean, there you go. Already in play from 2nd to 3rd floor in a second. Can dodge air jabs, can dodge claymores. So Warriors on this roam, they're going to be really scary unless F5 clear them out properly. Obviously, with the Jackal in play, things will be made a little bit easier. But if done incorrectly, F5 could be punished quite considerably here.
Drone play. Key, especially over towards ATMs. There are a couple of cheeky positions as a defender that you can jump in and hide in, that you don't want to be caught off on if you are Forsaken 5. Repel, you can see she's dancing around. She wants that info. Wants to find out whether or not there is some presence up here on the 2nd floor, and the shots will confirm it as she dances around upside down on the window. Now it's about feeding that info through to the rest of the team to transfer it into a kill.
They can open things up with 1 here. That'll be huge, but no, it's going to be Butt to go first. Fish Noodle will find 1 onto Aussie, though, so the castle being traded out for the Zofia. Probably a trade that favours the Warriors, but they're quite happy. They're starting to make their way off of the top floor and forfeiting that, well, those positions they had set up. F5 have now full control of the 3rd floor here, but Warriors have already fallen back. They've taken their pick and disappeared with it, and you can't really blame them after finding the Zofia really early here.
Pi still lurking around, has AJ in close proximity, so they can make that play off of each other. This castle barricade will finally go down 1.5 times. Going to give AJ just a little bit of a boon and an advantage there. Fish Noodle heavy tag, but will be able to answer back in kind.
Cam ready.
All of a sudden, it is the Warriors at the disadvantage, but they've proven time and time again that this does not guarantee that they will lose the round.
Definitely not. There's a retake in play here for the Warriors. They still have some, well, trying to apply some pressure right now up those main stairs, but with the hatches all opened up, it's going to give F5 a large ability to just sort of drop onto the site here with soft breach. No real need for the Havana. Time for Pi will clear out the replicator, but with only 40 seconds left, there's still a plentiful amount of utility on the attacking side of things. Jackal has all tracks available. Obviously, we also see some soft breach and flashbangs being bought, but it's going to be 30 seconds, Panda. They're going to have to go for a plant here.
Bulletproof camera in garage is still going to be feeding that info through. You can see Aussie is on the cam right now. Time for Pi for one. The Repel there to answer it back in Vault. She's already taken some big controllers, looking to push on. And Kate control of Red as well and get them to site. But Soy on the job brings it back 2-2. And another kill. The time for Pi on the Fish Noodle means that Diana has to hunt for the frags if she wants a chance in winning it. Rotato, it's going to come. It's one for her. Two, no!
Ooh.
Soy just holding on by her fingernails. Will bring the round back. Had the info, but it was a straight up head-on trade. That could have gone either way.
That was a little bit too close for comfort there for the Warriors. F5, so close. Really good rotations called there, and some good positioning inside of Jackal there. Inside of Garage there from Fish Noodle on the Jackal. Something interesting, though, that may come into the highlight here. No tracks were used at all by Jackal in that round, which could have made things go completely differently for F5 if they had known some of the positions of the players remaining on the bomb side, obviously in the 3v4. But still, got it down to a 1v1. Diana almost making a huge play. Did find the vigil, but just couldn't quite land the shots, unfortunately, onto the Jaeger. But, I mean, Warriors still, that was a really close round, and that honestly could have been F5's. So, F5 are definitely here to play, Panda.
We knew that coming in. We 100% knew that was the game plan. And really, no surprise. They're bringing this sort of intensity. It's come close a couple of rounds now, but unfortunately the Warriors just that much more fastidious, holding on to these key positions. Now we get an open area, though. This is where things quite quickly can fall apart for a defending team. Gives Forsaken 5 the best chance at picking up a round win, of course. But, I mean, the onus will repeatedly be on the Warriors to hold off. And the repeated use of this castle is quite ingenious.
Yeah, it really is ingenious. Cuts off a lot of rotation abilities for any players finding themselves on the second floor. Also cuts off a lot of angles into the site. Having that door open for attackers is really huge both ways. I mean, defense obviously really big as well for rotates. So closing it is sort of a win-lose situation, but I mean, we already saw it coming into effect there for the Warriors in the previous round. Shut down a lot, drew out some utility usage from F5, the Gone 6 obviously on the Yana. So good to see them implementing these types of barricades. Obviously, we do see this paired with the Roam as well. And that is a huge... Oh, that's a massive down there. Mute to fall. That's, I believe, a Nitro loss now in the hands of Time for Pi as well.
Yeah. And this is what I was talking about, that vertical. They wanted to get Sledge off the board, but it doesn't really matter. We got Butt on the job, has the breaching charges available, so we'll be able to start opening that floor in just a moment. They want to confirm even more control if they possibly can. But it's going to be slow going. Repel making her way over towards that Stocks office, setting up the flank cams as well. This is why we see the Zero come into play. Those Argus cams on flank watch are just so key.
Yeah, the fact that they can be placed anywhere really makes them hard to spot out as a defender. So good to see it being implemented here instead of the Nomad, honestly. Probably a better choice at the end of the day. But here's that castle barricade already drawing out utility. They're going to be trying to set up some flank utility here. Unfortunately, the Aruni Gate on the other side of the door will deny the Argus cam. Now, Repel still with the Gone 6, I believe, looking to possibly bust open the single instead of the double, which would allow them a little bit more maneuverability and not allow the defenders to come for a flank here, because that is exactly what Aussie would be looking to do if that door was opened up. Go for that rotate, maybe even salve, try and get aggressive down that hallway. But I mean, right now, F5 sort of trying to get a bit of a split push going here. 3 inside the lobby, 2 still upstairs, I believe, playing vertical. Here's that castle now to be opened up. So it's a good start for F5, especially with Butt finding another one onto AJ.
Pushing in from the back side of Archives. Could be a huge pinch. Aussie finding one. The pre-fire coming through. It's already been traded back by the time Butt gets involved. Does Butt know that there is a player tucked into small office? Soy there just around the corner with the Roni. Could very much upset some momentum here if she finds a couple of quick headshots. She is looking for it in there. Sav just inside open area. So he's tucking himself in. Knows the push is coming. The ping's through as well. 1 kill. Can she find 2? No, out of ammo. But Sam there to help her out. Chloe down. It's onto Diana again. And the Warriors will just sneak in under the door. And they pick themselves up a 3rd round. These are getting too close for comfort, Brodo.
A 2 versus 4 for the Warriors. Wow. That is really the only way to describe that. Wow from the Warriors. That was huge. Good positions opened up, obviously, with those ankles opened up into the side of Archives. The Malusi on the door really slowed F5 down. You do have to highlight there, though, F5, really good push. 2 players coming from the double door or even inside of the small office. 2 players trying to come from kitchen. A good pinch was in play there for them. But Warriors, the positions they had set up, the utility there to protect them as well, there's not much better that it can get, Panda, unless they start really doing some huge sort of renovations inside of the site. And that's going to be a flawless 3-site rotation. And now they're going to go straight back upstairs to do it all over again.
I mean, the flawless site rotation just feels so disingenuous. Because that makes it sound like Warriors have been absolutely bullying Forsaken 5. When, in fact, the reality is, of course, these rounds are coming down to 2v2s and 1v1s. And, I mean, every single round has come down to either a 2v2 or a 1v1. And it's just been so unbelievably close that it really could have gone either way on the dime. Unfortunately for Forsaken 5, it has gone Warriors' way all 3 times so far. So, I mean, look, if this carries on, surely the odds are that Forsaken 5 will have to win a round eventually.
There's no doubt about it. In my mind, F5 have really been sort of taking the hurt to Warriors. Majority of the rounds as well that we've seen have been sort of women advantage in their favour as well. 2v4 going into the end of that round and really well setting themselves up for executes. Unfortunately, Warriors have just been finding sort of those key plays in the last dying moments of those rounds. But F5, I mean, 100%, you said it perfectly. If they keep it up, no doubt they can win 1, 2, maybe even 3 rounds here because they have been getting really close to it.
A bomb has been located.
Now, though, we've seen Forsaken 5 already attack this site. So the Warriors should know what their game plan is. Concussion going to be eaten there, which leaves only the impact. The time for Pilot to get aggressive onto Diana. That is the hard breach now removed. All that's left is the secondary hard breach in the hands of Repel. Time for Pie, though, unfortunately walks into the line of sight of Butt, who will gun her down mercilessly. So frag for a frag. But again, I think that definitely leans more in favour for the Warriors than Forsaken Boba.
Yeah, especially getting rid of Habana early on. That means they're going to have to directly contest this elevator position, which is a really fortified one if set up correctly. And I'd imagine it is. There you go, AJ to find one there. We'll also clear the drones out with the FMG. Not the shotgun in that instance. Oh, so close to a second. Chloe, oh, there you go. We'll find it for AJ. A double. Taking Finker down. Repel, though, on that upside down, looking to try and get one back. I mean, that position right there for Warriors could now single-handedly, yeah, there you go, almost win them around unless Repel can go huge here.
I mean, it's the interesting, opposite setup that we see from, our 2 big smokes in this matchup. AJ, unfortunately, cannot beat Repel, who bags a second one. Sav just tucks your head in over the banister and will have it shot off. But, I mean, you got AJ, a phenomenal anchor, but a slightly more aggressive one, running the FMG-90. And there we go, Aussie shuts it down with a kill on Repel. And then you got Chloe on the side of the Warriors, who, I mean, is your traditional smoke anchor, will hold the site until their dying breath, whereas AJ on the smoke is one to go and hunt for the frag. So, I mean, look, it's interesting to see both aspects of the smoke come out.
Yeah, Smoke is a very versatile operator, obviously, with the shotgun as well as that FMG. With the 1.5 as well, allows him to be quite an aggressive sort of play style. Favour those types of play styles, should I say. And, I mean, we saw it just there. 2 huge kills on the main stairs with that 1.5, and that was just aggression. There was no smoke utility even played, I don't believe, there for Warriors, just because it wasn't required. And he's not even being bought this round for downstairs. It is going to be the Oryx again paired with the Vigil on that deep roam. And I mean, that deep roam proved to be quite fruitful for him in the last round, albeit 2 versus 2 to come down at the end. Yeah, sorry, even a 1v1. Sorry, should I say at the end. But F5, they are getting really close, Panda. They're doing everything right. It's just Warriors are there to greet them. And the ones don't necessarily, unfortunately, go in the favour of F5 at the moment. It is only the first map, though. So you do have to take that into consideration. We do still have 2 more here. So it could still be warming up. It could still be getting into the swing of things. But Warriors right now lead 4-0. F5 need these 2 rounds if they don't want to end on a pretty heavy-sided deficit here.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Indeed, indeed. Back down to the base, and once again, we start seeing this castle. I mean, it's obviously been so infuriating. Because there are so many long lines of sight that you want to be contesting as an attacker that are being denied to you by that one barricade in play. That isn't, I mean, 0-4, not impossible. I mean, hard. Damn hard for sure, but not impossible for Forsaken Boba.
Definitely something we've seen done before. And definitely something that I think we could see here again. Some good default utility being utilized by Warriors here. They're going to clear out that castle barricade a little bit quicker this time to try and make their way into that middle floor corridor. We do still see the default in the main lobby available here for Warriors, which is relaying a lot of information to the roamers. Obviously, Sav, just holding that camera, can see both of those players. Already saw the player on the double, has now spotted out the feet of Jackal, and is just telling Aussie everything that she needs to know. You can swing this, you know this. And this is where Warriors are really, really good on this roam. They have a lot of this information provided. Bulletproof cameras, defaults, now cleared out. Call's going to be made, and this is where it obviously comes to sort of having that chemistry with your team. Have people watch those cameras, because it allows the roamers to do really well, as we've seen for Warriors so far.
A lot of information playing out in favour of the Warriors again. But you look at the players, there's just so many of them just tucked in right now. I mean, just look at it. You got
I love
AJ,
these positions.
Yeah, you got Aussie in Tellers, in the office.
Uh-oh.
Rappel, just going for pretty shy. But then you've also got AJ, who is over towards, I believe it's small office, tucked under the desk as well. So, yeah, just tucked in. Like, they know exactly what the game plan is. They are looking to willingly forfeit the site in the attempts that they can play for a pinch. Unfortunately for Aussie, Fish Noodle is going to hit the shot with the PDW. Takes her out of the equation, but they have no idea that AJ is right here.
Largely undroned, 40 seconds, but has an inkling, but through the hatch, time for buys there for the support to take down Zofia, a 4v4, but look at the position here for AJ. Plays for F5 now spreading out away from open area, which could even allow for a huge flank in the dying moments of this round.
I think AJ might be AFK.
Yeah, maybe.
She's gone to make a cup of tea.
No, ADS, no, yeah, getting up now, back in the fight. Only 20 seconds left. This flank could be huge.
She was there for like almost 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know. Maybe she was making a cup of tea. Who knows? But right now the frags are coming in hard and fast. Time for Piper 1, but it's answered back 2. Don't know the second 5. Fish Noodle looking to hit some shots with 2 seconds left. Chloe has to stick the plan. If she gets fragged out here, it is all but over in the round. And that's exactly what AJ is going to do. Absolute daylight robbery, and Forsaken Boba had no idea it was coming their way.
That is rather unfortunate. No one to cover the vault drop there, but we talked about it already. No drone allowed AJ to go huge on that Oryx for that flank. Drops in, picks up the plant. It's only 1 kill, but it's the only kill that she needed to bag that round for the Warriors and put them in a 5-0 lead going into the last round of the split. The best F5 can hope for now is a 5-1. But that's going to be, well, it seems to be really close within their grasp, but Warriors, they just keep finding ways to pick apart the rounds that F5 are looking so good on.
To locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
That has always been their greatest strength, of course. Not just identifying a weakness or a mistake, but absolutely punishing it to the full extent with which they're capable. Warriors 5-0 right now. Highly likely given the way things are going, that we will see them take the 6-0. But Forsaken Boba, I mean, I would be hesitant to call them out just yet. I know this team, and I know that they can pull it back.
10 seconds to insertion.
Definitely can't count them out yet. F5 have already shown us in multiple games this season alone that they are very capable and a team that should genuinely be feared. I mean, the only game that they dropped was to Warriors. And, you know, surprisingly enough, here we are again in the finals now. No one else has beaten F5 aside from the Warriors. So there could be a little bit of that warm-up sort of things coming into it. Obviously, with a team that you have lost to before, you have that going into it. But, I mean, they look so good. They do look so good in these rounds. They get so close and do everything so well. The attacking side on Bank is really quite hard to pull off properly. And to see F5 doing such a monumental job is really good to see from, obviously, an attacking side. There is still hope for them yet, Panda. 5-1 is definitely in the cards here if they play their cards right.
Look at the positions, though. Look at the spread. Warriors looking to take the fight to their opponents here in the final round of the half. Same approach from Forsaken Boba, which unfortunately does also mean that it is kind of easy to read into. So the Warriors could, again, it's that ability to capitalize on familiarity, capitalize on mistakes, any weaknesses identified, and absolutely punish it. Well, again, no high acceleration in the round, no breakneck pace. It's slow, it's methodical. They want the info, they want security when they go for that execute. They're looking to take it for themselves. Unfortunately, Time for Pie does take Fish Noodle.
This position inside of Tellers with these castle barricades and mute jammers to support is just so big for Warriors. It allows Time for Pie all the movement she needs to get around, go for peaks, clear these positions out, and just face check things without really being punished too much. Obviously, we see the bulletproof camera there as well being bought, but But's actually going to find one inside of open onto Sweet. Make that 2 on the Aussie as well, looking for a 3rd, almost taking down Time for Pie through the wall. The Z-Pings are there and running rampant here, looking for some support, but no, the Frost Mat for Repel, Sav to confirm, and there's Time for Pie onto Butt. Things quickly swing back in the Warriors' favour, but it's going to be an execute onto the site here with Chloe jumping in.
Looking to get the swing on into Staff Room. Can't do it. And the ballet continues. The Warriors seemingly dancing around the shots. Forsaken Boba throwing down range. And they pick up the 6-0 half here, Proto. Absolute domination from start to finish.
That is pretty much the only word applicable, unfortunately, here for Warriors half. Domination was what we just saw. I mean, 3 rounds, I would say, out of that 6 were so close to being F5s, it's not funny. Like, they were doing really, really well. Albeit, now they get their turn on the defense, which, arguably, the easier side of Bank, F5 should be able to net a few rounds here. 6 unanswered rounds from Warriors, I would say, is going to be very, very hard. Not completely impossible for a team like F5, but definitely difficult to pull off. Starting things downstairs on more of the anchor side as well. We've seen both Tachanka and Smoke being bought here, which is probably going to be needed to go for the denial, obviously, with the Ying in play and the knock. We've got Smokes on the board and all of those Candela flashes, so there is going to be, I'd assume, an attempt at a plant here, so both of those denial operators is going to be a good 6 pick there for Repel. But this is where F5 really have to dig deep and try and find some rounds, because they're going to need 6 to take us to OT, Panda. Or Warriors are going to close it out really quickly here and send us on to the second map.
Well, I mean, not impossible, but I mean, at this point, how long do you hold on to Bank before you look to our second map? It's obviously been Clubhouse because, I mean, you can respect and understand what Forsaken Boba have tried to do, but the question has to be at some point, is it worth trying to, is it worth your mental, is it worth your energy trying to battle back for overtime here on map 1 when that energy could be better invested in winning map 2 and taking us to the decider?
Yeah, especially, you know, cutting losses, going to Clubhouse, a map that is a map that so many teams have had so long to practice on. Obviously, a map that has been in the competitive pool for so long now. We've seen multiple iterations of it strategically. F5 would probably be a little bit more, I would say, mentally at home on a map like Clubhouse, especially with Bank being so new in the map pool. I believe this is the only season, or the first season, sorry, that it's been in the current competitive map pool since the rework. So teams are still learning it. And F5 definitely have done really well on their attacks. Their attacks look really good, by the way. But Warriors on that defense, their strategy, their roams, their extensions were just so good as well. So you do have to give it to both teams here. The work that we see being put in just in the strategy alone is huge.
Sev, though, is definitely what I mean, look, there are a couple of players that I'm keeping an eye on. Rappel, obviously, playing the Tachanka. That's going to be an interesting one. Paired with the smoke, a lot of plant denial, but you've also got Soy running the Nook, and then pairing that with Ying. And that Gemini replicator in the hands of AJ, so they're going to have a huge amount of information. They're going to sneak the Nook in with the help of the Candelas. This could get scary.
Definitely what comes down to execute time here. If done well, Warriors could cause a huge ripple into the site with those flashbangs and smokes. Obviously, Soy, silent step, no noise emitted means that she can get really, really deep really quickly and do a lot of damage, say, towards red, clearing out a lot of positions. Obviously, Time for Fire now making that job a little bit easier, trying to get rid of that shield, sending through some of those explosives to try and clear that position out. So now with only 50-ish seconds left, it's going to be a straight-on 5 versus 5 nade now to follow. This is going to get messy, Pen.
Shamika, though, will halt that process coming over from server. They're going to have to battle their way through if they want a chance of getting the plant down. Candela's 3 in hand for Sav, who's trying to cover that cross from the gold vault. Doesn't want to be pinched in later on and deny that plant. There's so much that could go wrong. They're looking to set themselves up for that cheeky little backwards plant. Just tucked inside CCTV, but the shotgun will give away positioning with Chloe. Just tucked in red. There's a lot that could go wrong, and a lot that could go wrong very, very quickly here. Smoke's throwing deep. Sav is going to hot drop into the site, looking for the plant, but the Shamika launches aren't going to land in the right place. Neither of the toxic canisters. They can't deny. Sav's going to stick it out. AJ falls. So does Chloe. The team Nitro, but does secure Sav. It's an absolute mess in. Time for Pie with the knife, but will be gunned down by Rappel. And is now a 2 versus 2. Rappel playing in behind the bomb chassis. Looking for an angle, might try and sneak that defuse as well. Aussie, does she have the info? Looking for the swing, shuts down Fish, shuts down Rappel, and the Warriors take map 1, a clean 7-0 sweep. But once again, it's come so dangerously close to the line.
So unfortunate. It was such a good execute, but so well defended. Unfortunately, the TK coming out for the Nitro. Things, unfortunately, not going in the favour of F5, and it's going to be a quick 7-0 clean slate here for the Warriors on map 1. Time for Pi, say, the worst side to start on, albeit the side that it is favoured on. Still, F5 starting on the defence here. If they can get a huge amount of rounds, I'm talking 4, 5 here, going onto the attack may not be the hardest thing in the world for them. Sledge to go again from F5 on Clubhouse is an interesting ban. Buck's still in play, though, so not completely removed of the soft breach unless he's banned here. But, no, it's going to be Flores. Oh no.
Look, respect where respect is due, so a very, very scary player for this Warriors roster. So, look. Yeah. Bandit ban coming.
Incoming.
I'm not the person who needs to know. Trust. Understandable. Soy is, if I remember correctly, is a nurse. She's a healer, not a fighter.
Could see Doc ban, honestly. Doc to go. Nah, Bandit. Bandit wouldn't even actually be a bad ban, I will say here, for F5, albeit Cade, I'm assuming, is going to be the final one to come. Flores, something that isn't necessarily surprising. Something that is banned some of the time, not all the time. No, Valkyrie. Cade makes it through, and Thatcher in play here, Panda. This is going to be an interesting defensive half here for Warriors with both of, well, the wall-clearing sort of operators in play, both Carly and Thatcher. And for F5, Cade in play. So shaping up to be good. Bandit tricking as well to come out, maybe. A little bit of a bandit tricking spice. But we're going to see how F5 choose to take it. They're taking us straight to bar stage, which is the new iteration of the bomb site. And with the castle in play, bit of an extension, Cade being bought as well. This is a very interesting start here for Clubhouse.
Maybe trying to play the mind games early on. I think that is probably what we're seeing out of Forsaken 5. I mean, I'm trying to think of the word for it without... I want to say it's gimmicky, but it's not gimmicky. It's...
fashionable.
No, it's they are trying to catch their opponents unaware, and I suppose gimmicky does fit, but it's not like, aha, that's gimmicky, that's dumb, they're doing something stupid. It's gimmicky, it's something that could upset warriors who may not expect them to go to the site. So I do respect it, that ability to play the mind games, try and upset your opponents who have prepped for one site when in reality it's now another. I think this could do a lot of work for Forsaken Boba.
Yeah, a little bit of a switcheroo. I mean, we saw it attempted, I believe, in the last playday that we saw Panda. There was a bar stock to kick things off on Clubhouse. I may be wrong. There was a tournament sometime, a game sometime, that we did see this attempted. And I believe the defense actually won, based off the fact that everyone was prepared to go either down or up. It looks like Warriors have a very sort of upstairs, downstairs heavy clear here. Not a real dedicated soft breach either for Warriors right now. So could be a big sort of mind game being played here by F5 to kick things off. But, I mean, Warriors definitely have the kit still in their hands to do some work to this, to this side hold.
They do indeed, but you look at the Warriors, they look at the drones, the placements, the info, they're looking to get themselves nice and early on. They should have full knowledge that the site is bar stage. They should be able to counteract it, and they should at least become prepared enough that they can hit the site. So there is no doubt in my mind the Warriors are flummoxed to the point where they can no longer contest this round. But Forsaken 5 still might have a couple of, surprise factors in play that could upset the momentum of this round.
Some good pre-fires here from Time for Pi, a little bit of damage dealt, but from F5, a good extension both into Master and Logi with 3 players upstairs to protect each other's flanks and crossfires. It's going to be relatively difficult for Warriors to get a good push going here unless they can set themselves up well, but that is exactly what they needed. AJ to take down Fish Noodle inside of Jim, which is now going to allow Soy to apply a little bit more pressure from mainstairs and catch these rotates, but no, Bart takes her down on the rotate. Soy falls, and also a lot of damage now dealt to Time for Pi, even the kill from Repel now. This is huge for Warriors on this run.
Oh, spots the shoulder there of AJ. A dangerous combatant at the best of times. Honestly, it's probably one of the most surprising things. I think, unfortunately, due to the nature of her job, is the reason why. But I would be very keen to see her playing in the OCL. She definitely, I think she'd slot right into that and would be a very capable player in that competition. But right now, Butt falls down to the 2 versus 3 Sav on a bit of a tear there with the Type 89. Nitro Cell tossed at main stairs, but Aussie just going to dash out of the way for now. Doesn't want a bar of it. And down to the 2 versus 3. Proto, how many times have we been here already?
So many. So many already, Panda, for both of these teams. Only 45 seconds left for both to try and claim this first round, albeit one that was a little bit of a bamboozle, I think, for both teams. Or at least an attempt for F5, more Warriors, the bamboozle side of things. But with the hatches reinforced onto the stage, it's going to make things relatively difficult now to be opened up. Obviously, Habana to clear out some good utility as well from Pool. It's going to be a pinch attempt from Warriors, having both of those angles open up. It's going to give them some good positional advantage into the side. Obviously, with the crossfires being set up, Chloe will find one. Sav deals a little bit of damage to Diana. Will swing to the left. Spots the smoke trying to go upstairs. Sorry, the mute takes a lot of health off. But it's going to have to be getting into the side. Diana goes huge and finds the remainder of the Warriors F5 off of Bar Gaming. Going to walk away with the first round on Clubhouse.
What a light up there. I mean, you look at it as it was in that round. Warriors are so worried about Chloe heading upstairs that Diana was able to just swing and lock it down. Good start. Very good start. Very convincing start, despite how close it got. Forsaken Boba, this is the first round they've won this series. Here's to, hopefully, many more for them.
Really, really good round. Do have to say the roam from them there. 3 people on the top floor was, I reckon, a really good play from F5. Really well read into. Obviously, Warriors, they use their information. They drone a lot. They send a fair few bodies to completely clear out a floor/area. And I mean, we saw F5 play directly into that, having that full roam with multiple bodies upstairs. And the girls have done really well to shut down what Warriors brought to the table with that roam clear, albeit coming down to a 2v2, I believe 2v3 even, actually, sorry. But really well done. Diana going huge for 2 kills to clean up with the lineup. Warriors, I mean, that was one of the first rounds we've sort of seen them slow things down a little bit, but not actually get as close as they want to in the time that they had left. I believe it was only sort of, 20 seconds left when the remaining 2 started making their way into Bar Panda. So F5 definitely did catch them off on that round and have definitely benefited because of that.
5 seconds left.
Yeah, I did say it was gimmicky, but works. So
Objective is to locate a bomb.
I mean, it's going to be a bit concerning for the Warriors fans knowing that Forsaken Boba can pull out a round like that and completely bamboozle what are the fan favourites in that situation. Because if it happens once, it definitely means it could happen again.
100%, no questions asked. Some shots coming through the main breach that is completely soft. Interestingly enough, Panda from F5. First, we start things off on Bar Gaming, and now we have a completely soft main CC breach, which may be a questionable choice depending on how the round goes for them. Obviously, now being opened up, this gives Warriors a lot of control into the CC side of things, albeit with Garage still in the hands of F5 and some good positions set up just outside of Cash here with the shield, some good holes as well for contest on the vertical. I mean, if played well, F5 could definitely do some damage here, but Warriors have a lot of control, obviously, with that soft wall in play.
I think it just comes down to understanding they knew for a fact that Texture was in play, so they knew that that CCTV wall is going to be opened up anyway. So they wanted to be able to commit some of that utility in a better position, but Fish Noodle, the first of all, it's really heartbreaking sight in any round where you see a Jaeger fall into a frag grenade.
Especially as the opening kill. Unfortunate there, but still a minute 30 left. F5, some good positions left to play with. Warriors starting to get a little bit more aggressive now that only half the round remains. They have to get a little bit more opened up, clear out some more positions. Garage is going to be now a focus for them. Trying to get that player at the window. Will spot the head, but can't quite find the shot. AJ goes down. Not confirmed, though. Will be able to be revived. Here comes the utility to clear. But inside a Garage holds strong for now. MP5 in hand, trying to do some damage. But for now, Warriors, they need to try and get... Nope, there we go. They're going to get that frag anyway. Sav to take down, but they now have Garage control with only 50 seconds left to execute.
Chloe's going to have to play a big round right now. The smoke in play. Repel as well, looking to cover that default plant position. Chloe's positioning as well. You look at what she's over in con, so it means that, well, second Cox canister out. AJ with a kill into Diana. Things are getting a bit rough, and Repel unfortunately steps out and loses her life in the situation there. And it's going to be a flawless response from the Warriors in the second round. Answering back with vengeance.
Hey guys, you can have Bar Gaming. We'll take CC though. Thank you. Really well done by Warriors. Everything they needed fell into play. I mean, Garage control, boom, we got that. Stock control, boom, we got that. And that's all the Warriors needed. Started, going for the flanks, pinching things out, main breach, obviously with some small red coverage as well, walking in, starting to try and go for that plant, finding the picks, cleaning up really well in that round for them. And ultimately, bagging themselves the first in this matchup here on Clubhouse, 1-1. But now they're going to see how they fare attacking Church Arsenal downstairs. Pulse in play for Repel, no IQ for Warriors here. Could go huge with the Nitro in hand. Do have 2 more, 3 in total for F5 on the board. So some explosive plays could be the focus here. Still no dedicated soft breach though for Warriors Panda on downstairs. So we're going to see how that fares for them.
I mean, the wild thing is, so we've seen 2 rounds played, 8 kills in total for the Warriors. It's spread between 2 people.
Yeah.
Sav and AJ have all the kills right now.
Can't really blame them either. Absolute demons on the fragging potential. Sav and AJ going huge so far for the Warriors. Very well started off anyway. Do have to say, Blue completely clear here. That's going to be spotted out in the drone from Soy. The call could be made to try and come down quickly here. Chloe still sort of setting up things towards the backside of Blue. A little bit of damage dealt to Butt early on here. It's going to force Jaeger to retreat, but I don't think we're going to see a rush, unfortunately, Panda from the Warriors. They're still sort of going the normal way, setting up slowly and getting ready to execute. So it's unfortunate. Keen for a rush, but no rush just yet.
They're still looking to get in clear from the top down. They want information on the off-site presence, as limited as it may be here in round 3. There's just a lot of utility that's going to need to be cleared once they do get to the site. So Soy is going to be a key point of concern. If Forsaken 5 want to make this as hard as possible for the Warriors, they need to take her out of the equation.
Definitely is going to be the case, especially with no real second to third floor presence from any roamers here for F5. Heavily relying on Repel on that cardiac sensor to relay information and, maybe rely even on the Nitros to get the opening kills here upstairs, because with Thatcher in play, obviously the hatch will be quickly open, but taking down Habana to start things off, but that is a huge kill for F5. Now the hatches can't even be opened for Warriors.
Ooh, the Cutie Nitro Cell play could be coming in for Repel. By Cutie, I mean Bailey, because he changed his name now. But just in that top main position, one Nitro Cell deployed, another one going out. Repel is going to be on the mark. Unfortunately, for Forsaken Boba, Soy was well aware of what was going on, was up on the counter.
One of the only safe positions from Nitros up on the benches inside of the kitchen now leaves F5 with only one in the hands of Diana. A smoke still in play for Chloe in terms of denial here, but the hatch to be opened up by Aussie with only one hard breach tool left. Stuns to come from Time for Pi. 40 seconds here. They're going to have to look to take these fights down towards Blue and into the site, looking to get aggressive. AJ will find one on the butt, but will be down in the process. So technically a trade, leaving Warriors in a 3 versus 4 unless the res can come out. Time for Pi will find Fish Noodle. Walks on in to take down Chloe as well. Blue control is there. Diana to refrag. Back onto the Zofia to confirm. Will also take down AJ, who was already down. The flick from Soy does a lot of damage to Repel, but Repel takes down Aussie, and now a 1v1. Only 20 seconds left. Needs to get the bomb down, but Diana has the Nitro. Could go for the denial. Doesn't even need to get too close to Soy here. We'll hear the plant. Nitro to come over. Makes it all the way in, but doesn't quite find the player now. A post plant. There's Soy for Warriors to close things out.
I mean, those dying moments of a round and the 1 versus 1 where you know that the chances are plant is going down. I mean, you could not describe a more tense moment in a game of Siege, and unfortunately Diana not able to back herself in that situation. Just throwing the Nitro Cell a second too late because Soy had already got the plant down. It was retreating out, and it came down to that gunfight around the ammo crates. And look, it is a brutal situation to find yourself in at the best of times, but in this situation where you're already down a map, it gets that much worse.
Definitely hurts that little bit more as well for F5. So close, in such a good position, and then the blue take from the Zofia just started cleaning things up, taking kills, taking names. Very well done in terms of the refrag from Diana there. But by that time, it was already too late. Warriors were allowed to take so much. Repel almost went huge finding the double, but at the end of the day, Soy, the 2 kills needed with the 2 kills she's currently got to put that round on the board for Warriors with the plan as well, and the 1v1 clutch. Huge round, to say the least, for Warriors. But now, for F5, it is going to be, I believe, another bar attempt, Pan.
Worked for them last time. I would not blame them at all for wanting to reconsider it. They got them around on the board. If they want to equalise here, that'd be the go-to site if I was them or their coach. So it's the call that's been made. They're going to look for the reattempt. Well, this could find itself equal up once again.
Definitely could be the case. 2-2 would be good for F5. However, Warriors now employing the Jackal. Going to be jumping straight on the tracks here, looking for some fresh prints inside of the garage, clearing out the default cams as well. Good to see a little bit of a change in terms of the Warriors' sort of utility throughout rounds. Maybe only one operator difference here and there, or even just the utility they're bringing. Gone sixes as opposed to a nade, as opposed to, you know, smokes, as opposed to... It's good to see Warriors switching things up. We'll spot the first track's also going to get the feet here, and Bandit's position now revealed down inside of Secret. Pushes butt all the way down to the bottom floor and to rotate towards main. This is some good time for Warriors, 50 seconds gone, and they already have a decent amount of control into CC.
They do. And getting that vert above the site is going to be absolutely pivotal. And they're looking to start that up right now. They know that there's going to be presence on the second floor. They're hunting for it, and that's exactly why they brought this Jackal in for Pipe. They want the feet, they want the scans, they want the pressure, because once the pressure starts mounting, that is when mistakes are made.
Mistakes is how people win rounds. There you go. Butt makes her way back to Secret to take down AJ. That's the Yana gone. Nade's taken with her. And that is a huge pick to find for F5 Replicator as well off the board. So some information relaying utility taken away. That is a big opener. F5 again on this roam have proven that they have such a good setup for this bar gaming site, which is not something that I would have expected, given that it has, in previous iterations of Clubhouse, been one of the weakest sites to hold. Now for F5 seems to be their strongest. In a 5 versus 4, they still have all of this top floor control to play with and could just disappear, give it to Warriors, and still do relatively well holding onto the site here with only 50 seconds left.
Push on in, time for Pi on the hunt, looking to get through Logi. The Repel has ducked herself back out, so he swings, Fish Noodle and Repel for that upstairs presence. Now completely nullified, and the concern starts to mount if you're a fan of the Forsaken 5 team. They found the one win so far on this bomb site, and it's looking like this can spiral out of control once again, but looking towards Highway, looking trying to find a frag there up on the second floor still, and we can see that lurk presence coming. Seth has an idea, and unfortunately the idea translates into a kill. Things are not looking good for Forsaken Boba.
Dropping into the site now. Warriors look to make their way to get this bomb down. Diana spotted out. Will take a considerable amount of damage. Actually now goes down as well. Time for Pi. Has the track on, but can't quite find the feed of Chloe, who's coming up main. Will be able to take the frag with her, though. That is going to be another round for the Warriors on Clubhouse. They've managed to best the bar. And F5 now going to be trailing by a couple of rounds.
Warriors best of bar, and Forsaken Boba probably wanting to head there right now. I mean, it's not for lack of trying. None of this is for a significant lack of trying from the side of Forsaken Boba. They are trying. They are digging deep in the strat book. They are trying to make the Warriors work. The Warriors, they're not stressed. They're not fussed. They are handling this with absolute dignity.
Yeah, their ability to adapt is something that is highlighted every week, I've noticed, and you really can't say it much more than that. Warriors' ability to adapt is amazing to watch when it's implemented. They can take a site hold, they may lose around here or there, but then very quickly change up how they take it, they set up for a different approach, and then they execute. And I mean, that is exactly what's on that top floor. This time we saw that main window presence from Soy, jumping into Master, cleaning up the 2 kills on the players who were focused on the con presence from Warriors, and that cost them their lives. F5, unfortunately, can't hold every angle in the world, and Warriors were there to capitalize, but that is exactly what we're on about. They learn from their mistakes. They then make plays based on the mistakes that they've learned, change things up a little bit, get some kills, and ultimately rounds. I mean, 3-1 up on Clubhouse. The best F5 can hope for is a 3-3 here, which wouldn't be the end of the world. Even a 4-2 would be relatively good for them. So Warriors, they're going to have their work cut out for them here as F5 start to get a little bit more aggressive, having Pulse start off upstairs, but still, we yet to see how this plays out.
I mean, honestly, I'd almost favour something like the Cap Can coming in. Tried it with the Legion in that last round. You need to slow down the Warriors' push because they are just getting in. They have far too much time to work with, and when that execute comes, they are incredibly comfortable. Find a cap can, find a lesion.
Or a one
Find a
tap.
kill like that onto time for Pie. But, yeah, she's going to be absolutely stoked with that.
Love that. We love these
Absolute.
we love these
Knew it was
these
going to
talks.
happen. 100%. That is just the butt special.
Yeah. We love those moments in chat. We really do. We live for it. Good bit of banter back and forth here. Butt now doing some more butt things, sneaking around the top of secret. Panna, that's a good kill to find. Jackal as well. It's going to make Butt's job a lot easier in this middle floor hold. But the remainder of Warriors going to work elsewhere, getting everything else done on the checklist before the execute comes.
This is, yeah, ideal. 100% ideal for Butt in that kill that she found. Gotta wonder if she can compound the losses, and well, it's Diana to find the follow-up, Soy to fall. Thatcher and Jackal off the board early, two of the worst frags possible. And time for Pie, she's a little bit upset.
Can't blame her there, especially I believe a one tap from Butt. But all the same, Warriors now trail 3-5 in the remaining player count. Butt now droned out. Jackal may be dead, but the drone's still in play. Is information being relayed to what is left of the Warriors? AJ trying to possibly follow up and get that frag, but Butt too far gone inside a garage. And 47 seconds isn't really enough time to sort of hunt for these roamers now. So Butt's going to have a really good position here to go for that late round flank. That's if the site presence doesn't deal with what's left of Warriors first.
I'm gonna hope they can hold this one out. They want that 3-2, but AJ very rarely misses those. And a frag grenade towards blue could upset even further the swing, but it's at Aussie to clean Diana's clock. But on the hunt, looking for more, will only find the one before AJ drops her again. Vengeance for time for Pie, but Repel on the job. AJ tucked in behind the bar in church, has to go for the plant. But it doesn't seem that Forsaken 5 quite know, and the plant will be secured with Aussie now being in the 1 versus 2. So 6 header, oh no, Toxic Canister lands right in AJ's lap, so they know that she's tucked into the corner now. They have all the information and all the advantage. If Mandy could land the perfect Nitro Cell, this round is going to be all but theirs. No, doesn't need it. The swing, AJ! AJ for 2! The ARX, you cannot tell me that it is not an overpowered weapon.
Especially in the hands of AJ. Warriors, a round that had no right being theirs in a 1v2 with a smoke in play, Nitro in hand. AJ makes the dream work of it. Clutches up for 2 with the plan as well in the post situation. Wow. Adaptability at its finest. Supporting player goes down. It's all right. AJ's got it, gets it done, and the round on the board. 4-1. F5. 4-2 is the only thing on the cards for them here, unfortunately, before they switch over. I mean, maybe attack is just where you want to be, Panda. I mean, attack has been looking really good for both sides tonight. Maybe that's just how it goes. But it's going to be for the final attempt here for F5. Another shot at the bar gaming. They've won it once, lost it once. Can they make it 2-1 in terms of losses and wins, or are Warriors going to end at 5-1 here? What do you think?
I want to believe in the girls. I want to believe in Forsaken Boba. I do. But the Warriors just look so damn good right now. I mean, AJ, you're in a 1 versus 2. You are the known entity in the situation. They knew where AJ was. But even then, she did not let that happen. She did not let it go the way that Forsaken Boba wanted. She fought bitterly and came out on top. I think the Warriors are just a hungrier team. They want it that much more, and they are going to take it.
Could definitely be the case here. F5 still in it with a good chance. Obviously, Clubhouse, a map that Can really go either way if played right. Some good roams from F5 so far we've seen, and definitely utilization of these roams. But it looks like a rush from Warriors. They're actually making their way in through the double door. Diana will find the first on the time for Pi. Diana make it a double. Soy now downed as well in her position. Diana for her triple, looking the remaining 2 for the ace. We'll spot the head. Chloe, however, will take down Sav, and now it's all up to AJ. Warriors, a good attempt at a rush, but F5, they were just so much more ready for what was brought to the table, and now AJ, well, maybe won the 1v2, but it's a 1v5.
The ARX limited mag pool as well, but he's just prone at the bottom of the stairs outside of main lobby. Daring AJ to push, but no, AJ is going to play it smart, heads over towards billiards. It's a bait. It's all a bait. But we'll sneak on towards vending machines, though. She's just playing. She's just playing my game.
Oh, but
AJ! Don't give it. It's all a trap. Look at Butt knows. Butt knows exactly what's going on. The girls know. Butt is just having some fun.
You love to see it. You really do. It's games back and forth here. AJ, a little bit of all right. My turn. You love to see it. You really do. Who's going to swing first? I want to see who wins this fight. Come on. It's really back and forth. AJ.
There are 5 players alive for a second. There we go. But triumphant. Flawless round to close the half.
I'm surprised that there weren't people jumping out of windows left, right,
there
and
was
center.
5 defenders alive.
Yeah.
We would have been Butt saying, no, this is mine. Leave me alone.
Yeah. Butt was like, no, you stay put. I'm dealing with this. It's my turn.
Nothing if not content.
No, yeah, you love a bit of content. Especially, I mean, hey, highlight, F5 won that round, so they're up 2-1 on bar. Most successful team, I think I can safely say, for Women's League this season on bar. F5. I'm putting it out there.
Look, we'll have to go back through the numbers.
We may have to go back through the numbers, but still, I'm sticking to my statement.
It's not my job. It's Alex's. He can have sleepless nights looking at the numbers.
Yeah.
We'll just call him Mason.
We love
right now, 4-2 half. With Warriors now heading over to the defense. This is where the hard work has to begin. The Taken Boba, this is the beginning of their march towards the decider. They're going to have to dig really deep.
Speaking of digging deep, there is the acclaimed Repel Buck soft breach that we spoke about at the beginning of this matchup. Coming to the light for the first time in these 2 maps now. F5 busting out that soft breach, but probably not surprising given that CC obviously clearing out that green box position inside of Cash up to the right near the A chassis there is a pivotal position to clear out. So Repel on that Buck is going to do huge things from down inside of stock. Warriors going to have to either roam to deny this or attempt to try and, well, contest the vertical from above, which sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. But Fish Noodle opens things up onto AJ, trying to spawn pick. No. That's the first pick for F5.
Yeah, and Fish Noodle hasn't really played much of this Nomad today, but it was something that she was deadly on in that semi-final match that they won. So to see her bring it out now, that's I mean, that could be a little bit concerning for the Warriors.
Definitely going to hinder the roam game here.
A bomb has been located.
Which is unfortunate, to say the least, for the roam game of Warriors. But is going to get that wall open, which is going to allow for the contestant straight in through to CC. Repel obviously got to go forth and open said wall up with the skeleton key, and that wall now opened up. A gateway into the bomb site. Aussie on this roam could catch out Fish Noodle here unless those air jabs are in play. But this is some good control for F5 so far. They have Master Bedroom, they have Logi, starting to make their way into Con, getting this split set up to execute onto the site. They haven't cleared out the roamers though, which could come back to bite them later in this round.
Definitely could be the case right now. But they've got a lot of utility to try and deal with those roamers as well. And Chloe playing the Finker gives them that longevity closing out the round. There's still 2 adrenal surges remaining. And we can already hear Repel going to work on the vert. Fish Noodle as well, having had some information. But you look at the positioning. Forsaken 5, they are right outside the site, ready to get on into it. Frag grenade deep into the site could shut down time for Pi. Long arm and successful. Sav trying to reclaim a frag back, but it's too little too late. Big kills going the way of Forsaken Boba.
Huge kills, finding themselves in a 5 versus 3. Could be a flawless here if played right by F5 on their first attacking round. Only 45 seconds left to play with, though. A lot of utility still in play for the defense side of things. A couple bits left to try and clear positions out. Nades, gone sixes, flashbangs, and whatnot for F5. But, well, that sounds like I said but twice. But does find a kill onto Aussie, almost a second in the garage. But 30 seconds left, Panda, and a 2 versus 5 for F5.
Sav playing behind the Vulcan shield. That's a deadly spot. If they clear that out, she could be in a lot of trouble. Stands up, but is going to be shot for her trouble instead. Zoe over towards the rafters. Oh no, the air jab does just shoot it out in a pinch. And Sav going to find the head of fish noodle. Zoe looking for one of her own. It's Mandy just tucked in on the highway frag grenade. Dits! And it's Chloe on the fadeaway. Is, well, it's going to be a wipe for Forsaken 5, but found 3 from that CCTV platform, 1 with an A, 2 with the M4. And Forsaken Boba, I mean, this could be a story of attacking rounds, you're right.
I mean, yeah, especially with the opener like that for F5 on the attack, 3 to 4, 1 round away from equalizing here. This is relatively close. I mean, we didn't get to see the round-wise closeness on maps, on Bank, but this highlights how good both of these teams are and how close F5 can come to winning this. If they can keep this up, the aggression we just saw from them, but not necessarily, sort of swing. It was very calculated. They knew where they needed to be. They had everything set up for themselves to execute, and then they did it almost flawlessly, only losing 1 player in the process. And you do have to highlight that. F5 coming into this second half of Clubhouse here could definitely start to look to dismantle what the Warriors are bringing on the defense, because we've just seen them do it.
I'm sorry. So the Warriors have posted that clip of AJ clutching up in church, and it's got auto-generated subtitles. And so it's like, she's got to go for the bomb. It says she's got to go for the blonde. feels a bit ruthless in the context of Women's League.
Yeah. Especially with the, Pulse having no hair and Smoke probably having no hair either. So unfortunate, but the blonde was definitely planted, and the blonde definitely won them the round. But Warriors, I mean, they should start being a little bit more worried here. Obviously, a round until they equalise, and F5 they're looking really, really good, Panda, on this attack.
They are looking good indeed. And, I mean, the efficiency... All right, Chloe, calm down. We know you're keen. We know you want some frags. But all that's going to... Honestly, could you imagine if, like, real-life Special Forces soldiers acted the way we do in video games? Like,
QE?
Just like your QE, constant ADSing, tactical crouching. Like, it would just be this non-stop case of whiplash and pulled muscles.
Yeah, infinitely reloading as well after shooting 3 bullets because you have 300 magazines around. Just the usual for all types of special forces. But look, I'd love to imagine it, but I feel like, as you said, I'd be relatively injured after pondering on it for too long. But speaking of injured, all the control now for the top floor forfeited for the Warriors. All of it in the hands of F5 now. Similar to the setup we saw from F5, 3 Nitros in play downstairs for Warriors. We've got the Cade, the Pulse, and the Mute bringing those explosive Nitro cells to the party. So, again, big explosive capabilities here for the Warriors downstairs, playing the vertical angles. But Repel clearing things out with the buck on the top floor, playing some of that skeleton key vertical.
Grouping.
I'm waiting for the Nitro, please. Walk up main.
My.
Lucky that isn't Destructible Panda. Very lucky.
Honestly, just lucky this isn't Battlefield, lucky this isn't Tarkov, 1 nade, and the entire team is just completely wiped. 1 Nitro, I mean, that just C4 in the right place, you would have just, honestly, that would have been rough.
Maybe not even a C4. Pulse with the UMP to take down the first, Diana to fall. Again, the hard breacher being taken out early on. Nitro could follow here. The pings have been made, waiting for it to come out. Getting on the cardiac sensor, we'll get the spot. Nitro from Soy takes down Repel, and this is a great start for Warriors in a 3 versus 5 with 40 seconds left. Still 1 Nitro left, and some good control.
How good, though, is the question. I mean, they're primed, ready. They're looking at blast onto the site, but they've got one nitro cell remaining in the hands of Time for Pie. They're looking to clear out what utility they can, but the ADS is making that incredibly hard. Frag grenade tossed deep through blue. Sav with a punch hole. Going to play things much more defensively. Looking to cut it down, but Fish is clean with the AK. Shuts it down, but with 12 seconds in which to make it all happen. They got it 4. Soy for 1. Time for Pie for 2. And it's Butt coming in from Dirt. Unfortunately, only finds the one consolation prize. Whereas Shut It Down, no room for the nonsense. I say nonsense, it's not the right term, but no room for the shenanigans of the Forsaken Boba team. Whereas they're having absolutely none of it.
Very well done from Warriors in the end there, clutching things up. It was a good attempt from F5. Very good attempt. But the nitro cells there, the verticality, the cardiac sensor, every bit of utility there coming out and ultimately doing its part. I mean, the information was being relayed. The kills were then gained, offset information, the bomb down, everything ended up going in favor for the Warriors. Unfortunate for F5, who actually did pretty good time-wise to get to where they were. I believe still like a minute and a half, minute and 50 seconds, sort of waiting for them to sort of play with their going into sort of getting into the verticality side of things with the bark, etc., etc. But we're shut down by Warriors, which is a shame. So F5 now trail by 2, but definitely still not completely impossible for them because we've seen them do big things on the attack, Panda. We really have so far.
I mean, this is probably the closest. Well, it is easily the closest it's been all grand finals, but even this season, I think, for the most part, this is the most the Warriors have had to work for a win here. And it comes down to that resilience that Forsaken Boba are wanting to show. They want to prove they deserve to be the grand finals, and they have already done that in spades. But why not go one step further and take the crown for themselves?
You'd love to see it. You definitely would. Would be huge to see, but definitely would make Wise happy. But 2 rounds is what separates F5 from the Warriors, and equalising here. Needs to get this breach open, needs to make things happen quickly. The Nomad in play, obviously making quick work of covering that run out. Mute Jammer cleared out already here by Bud as well. Wall to be opened by Diana. And F5 making really good pacing here to getting these breaches opened and starting to see some of those rotates. Oh, are we maybe setting up for a rush here? Red is clear. Repel. That's been called. The charge to come out. Gone 6 from Chloe. It's starting to come out, but no! The team kill. The charge is there. Sav's there for another kill. They're running on in. Being cleaned up by the Warriors. Sav, Soy to finish things off. It's all up to Chloe. Someone's going to team kill her, and Time for Pie is there for the knife. Warriors are going to put us on match point after a very after a very interesting rush attempt.
I think we should change Butt's name to Leroy.
Oh, you love to see it.
Over eager, a little bit too keen to sprint towards her own death in that situation. Slow down. That's all I have to say. Shit.
It was such a good attempt as well on paper.
Like just like a 5-year-old kid knowing that they're going to the candy store with mum, just sprints into the glass door. Unfortunately for Bud, it was an exothermic charge.
Yeah, something a little bit more explosive than a Jolly Rancher, but you love to see it. I believe the word you used before was content, Panda, so definitely can't argue there. Still, Warriors now 6-3, match point and series point right now for them. F5, 3 rounds is all that separates them from taking us to OT, which could be their saviour if they can make it happen. We couldn't see them do 6 in a row on Bank, but 3 is definitely on the cards for them here, provided Butt doesn't run into any more exothermic charges. So, there's no thermite in play this round, so hopefully this is going to be a little bit safer for her.
I mean, it's wild. You're top fragging for the team. You're 11-6, and then you're just like, this is my round!
I'm going in.
And then just full face tanks the explosive force of an exothermic. Oh, boy. We almost saw Butt get team killed there for a second as well. Oh, dear. What is this game? At least we know they're having fun.
Definitely fun. Good amount of fun. Can't really argue here. 3 of the F5 players making their way towards the gym side, master side of things, setting up to get this wall opened up, but making short work of the reinforcement with the Maverick torch in hand, trying to get this wall opened up to give themselves that cross coverage that we've seen them play so many times. The Nitro actually being destroyed there, possibly by Repel or the torch. I'm not too sure either way. Aussie now unfortunately not going to be able to utilize that utility anymore. The wall now opened up with only 2 minutes remaining. Still a lot of time for F5 to work with, and now Diana also finding AJ makes things relatively easier here for them.
Yeah, I mean, AJ is probably one of the biggest threats on this Warriors team, so to remove her from the equation is always going to be huge. Fish Noodle taking a bit of damage from CCTV. That's a common position. And honestly, I'm so keen to see Osa played on Clubhouse more, because you can cut down that angle, and if there are no impacts or nitro cells, basically you cannot contest from that angle, which is kind of huge.
Yeah, I am quite surprised that we haven't seen Osa.
Well, it's not allowed in the playoffs because.
Oh, true, isn't it? Yeah, it's allowed in everything else, but not the playoffs.
No, because we started the playoffs.
Yes,
just
before she came in, I think. Yeah, I take it back.
Or just after, enough that it was close enough that you.
Yes.
You wouldn't want to. Yeah.
There you go. Remain banned. So there you are. But Chloe, speaking of banned, sending time for bye onto the cams. Only a minute left here in a 3 versus 5. F5 could be on for the 4th.
Aussie getting tagged a little bit there. She's tucked into the bathroom right now, looking to hold on where she can. But Chloe's going to find yet another kill for herself in the round. Aussie getting aggressive. Both players tagged heavy, but Diana is going to confirm the kill on Aussie Princess. Is now down to Soy. The do no harm nurse, who currently is now in logistics. Possibly a flawless round here from Forsaken Boba. Soy obviously will be the one to determine whether or not that is the case. Player outside the con window. Soy going to turn her back. They clear out the cam. They're hunting her. I would imagine they have some idea of where she is, but the player on the window not going to jump in just yet. Fish Noodle there in the master bedroom window as well. Diana spotted, ruins the chances that are flawless as Chloe shuts it down. But Forsaken Boba, it's another round on the board and that one step closer to OT.
Holding on for just that little bit longer. 2 rounds, definitely doable here for F5. Still match point to the Warriors though. So any mistake is going to be very costly here for F5. Because Warriors, if allowed to, we've seen them do it in the past, if they're allowed to determine the pace of a round, even a game, can be closed out in the blink of an eye if the other team can't do anything about it. But I mean, so far we've seen some really good sort of ability to deal with that tempo for F5. They've been able to sort of designate how they want to be playing rounds, how quickly they want to be playing rounds. And I think Warriors have sort of struggled a little bit to keep the tempo they want on Clubhouse. On Bank, maybe a different story. But right now, F5 are definitely on the road to at least making it to OT, maybe even success. But still, 2 rounds is a tall feat, especially going up against the Warriors who are looking so good right now, and the fact that they're on match point.
Down to the basement. Last time we were here, it didn't quite play out the way they wanted, but Fish Noodle dropping all pretenses. It's the Ying in play, but back on the Zofia. So this is going to be a hard-hitting smash and grab round from the looks of things from Forsaken. Boba, the drone's coming in. They're looking for the info, looking to find what they can.
5 seconds.
Honestly, I think this one could be a very, very similar round to that round where ran into an exothermic and died.
Could be the case. Definitely could be the pace. Time for Pie on the roam with the pulse. Some shots to come through. Very close to possibly finding a head through secret here. Does some damage to Chloe. Ultimately not enough. Nitro to follow. That is that utility gone, unfortunately. No kill to come from it. But some good damage dealt. Finker obviously being in play means that Chloe is going to be able to heal a majority of her health back up to 100. It's just going to cost a few of those adrenal surges. But still, 30 seconds wasted. They now have to drone this position out. Bottom oil pit is in their control, however. And this could be an issue with Ying coming on through. No, Sav's there. Finds the head. And F5 lose a player.
Sav's still backing herself in blue right now. Doesn't want to give up the position. And time to buy gets a bit elevated in the side. Looking for the angle towards oil pit. I'm not sure what the ping was about, but they know that there is utility trying to drain an attack. So that was the ping. They said, come on, drain that utility, get a frag grenade nice and deep, clear out Sav, and unfortunately for Forsaken 5, the call was made. Sav gets the hell out of dodge, so she will survive to remain in the round, but AJ will not. Long range shot with that spear 308 to find the kill, and Aussie back aggressing on dirt. Sav still doing damage in the round. 3 kills for her. She shuts down the blue push almost single-handedly. Righto. I hate to call it early, but it feels like maybe, just maybe, Forsaken Boba will bow out here. 2 versus 4. Repel and Chloe. 1 Adrenal Surge left in play. Swung on. Sav for the quad. It might be the full ace, but we have 1:17 left to play with. Do they give it to her?
I'd love to see them give it to Sav, already going 13 and 7. Definitely 14 would look great with the 2.0 KD overall, but Repel is going to be the one to try and fight for it. Sav shut down for the ace. 1 versus 3. Soy there to clean things up. Ladies and gentlemen, Warriors are your Women's League Season 6 champions. F5, unfortunately, couldn't find those 2 rounds, and they're going to walk away with a 7-4 on Clubhouse to close out the second map.
I mean, look, it's still an incredibly commendable effort from Forsaken Boba. They did fight tooth and nail in the second map. I mean, look at both. 11 and 8, the second highest